Well, my friends, tragic news, I'm afraid. Under the miraculous leadership of Barack Obama, the Democratic Party, the party of the people, the little guy, the common man, the working class Joe, has decided to write off any attempt to win the vote of the little guy, the common man, the working class Joe. Now, buried under this interesting headline is a very interesting little data point. It looks like it's actually official. The Obama strategy is to abandon working class whites, that's not just plumbers, but also soccer moms, and focus on the poor, downtrodden masses of college PhDs, Hollywood celebrities, uber-rich cronyists, the assorted Occupy movement malcontents, and of course a liberal, if you'll pardon the expression, doling out of benefits to blacks and Hispanics. Joining me now to bask in the intellectual glory of this completely unselfish Obama re-election strategy are regular stalwarts Steve Green and Scotty Ott. Hey, guys. Steve, let's cut to the chase while there's still a chase left to cut to. From a branding perspective alone, how does the new Democratic base of pampered elitist Marxist progressives, fat cat 1% crony Wall Street types, and the ignorant swilling masses play to you? I thought the Republicans were supposed to be that party.
Well, the left lies, Bill. They have to, or everybody would hate them. Look, you know what? Instead of talking about the politics of this coalition, you know, does it help in the swing states? Will it shore up his gains like Virginia and North Carolina? Forget all that. Let's look at the nature of Obama's new coalition. It's rich. It's usually white. It's liberals getting together to tell poor minorities, keep us in power and we'll take care of you. It is inherently paternalistic. The left, which, as I said, lies, claims the right is the great evil patriarchy. Well, look at their setup, and you tell me who the patriarchs really are. We've been getting smeared with the left's own stuff for too long now.
Yeah, reality has a way of smearing back, though, doesn't it? Scotty, you just ran a campaign on conservative principles, and you won in a district that was mostly Democrat. Now, putting image aside, does this look to you like Obama is destroying his historical, at least the mythological base of the Democratic Party in order to sneak over the wire in 2012?
Absolutely. Although I think it's such a terrible strategy, he's not going to sneak over any wire. I mean, he's going to get garroted by the wire. We found locally here where we have a 50%, metaphorically speaking, garroted, yes. And he'll bounce right back and he'll be fine. But the registration in our county is 50% Democrat, 35% Republican. However, most of our elected officials, many of them are Republicans. And I think what happens is when real rank-and-file Democrats come face-to-face with real Republicans and hear what they're about and meet them, they want to vote for them. The further away you get from home, the more likely you are to be able to elect somebody who's just a creation of some Madison Avenue fantasy.
Okay, that sounds like a good job description for the current president, a Madison Avenue fantasy. Okay, guys, let's look to the future while there's still a future to look to. Steve, I don't know about you, but when I read the headline that said that the Democrats have basically given up working class white Americans, my first thought was, well, we'll take them.
Working, middle-class, blue-collar Americans, I'm sure Dave and Betty Rieger of Zanesville, Ohio, are sorely let down that President Obama won't be focusing on them like a laser next year. So they're the only ones left after the last 3 years. More seriously, though, of course we'll take them. You know what I'll never forget? There was a Reagan Democrat back in either 1980 or the 1984 campaign who explained his vote. He said, FDR brought me up into the middle class, but only Reagan can keep me there because, well, the New Deal ran out of money, which is what New Deals do. Now, it's the GOP's job to purge itself of progressives and let that great American middle class recreate itself from these smoldering ruins of the last 10 years of big government.
There you go, buddy. Well said. Steve Green is tied with Scott Ott for most PJTV hosting duties in a single season. You can read him at vodkapundit.com. Scott, if the Dems abandon the working middle class and entitlement vote buying to minorities dries up simply because there's no money left, what have they got besides the Harvard and New York skyscraper vote?
They've got a coalition of people who have no common interest. They have a coalition, actually, of people who are diametrically opposed. On the one hand, they've got the union guys who would love to build a pipeline. And on the other hand, they have the environmental guys who want to make sure that a pipeline never gets built. And I think that right there typifies what they've been able to pull together. And let me just speak to our Democrat registered viewers right now. You don't have to change your party registration. The important thing is that you vote for reform in government. The important thing is that you vote your conscience, that you vote your values and your principles. We're not trying to jump up on a hill and wave a big red flag and claim that we've got the better party. What we want is good governance in this country. What we need is people like you who've worked hard for a living and have been taken for granted for many years to do the right thing at the ballot box.
Categorically agree. If there was a Democrat who was running a business versus a Republican who's been in there for 40 years, I say go Democrats. I'm right with you on that one, Scott. You can catch the latest in Scott Ott's inspirational, educational, constitutionally delicious Freedom's Charter. It's right here at PJTV. Well, Mr. Obama, Mr. Axelrod, and all the rest, here's the thing. You conned the American people into looking the other way in 2008, and many, many people regret that vote today. You sold out the congressional Democrats who backed your Obamacare fiasco, and they went under the fleet of buses. One bus is not nearly enough for you guys. And now you're about to not only abandon a core constituency, you're about to abandon your entire theory of what the Democratic Party is, the so-called party of the hardworking little guy, to pander to Wall Street cronies like Goldman Sachs and General Electric, to kiss up to the Marxist elitists that have gotten us into this disaster, and of course, the perpetual pandering to the entitlement nation to keep blacks and Hispanics in their place, which is, of course, dependent on you. Good luck with that. We'll put this new Democratic Party rebranding right up there with New Coke. And we'll see you in 2012, and 2014, and 2016, and in 2018, and 2020, and 2022, and 2024, 2026. So,